Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out here tonight on the B&R Racing Network, Talladega. Super Speedway alongside me tonight is Will. Good evening, Will.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. And Brian.
Well, 87's here at Talladega. Well, it's going to be fun. You got 17 here tonight, so I'll go ahead and... Oh, we got 18, I do believe. I'll let you go ahead and go over the history of Talladega while these guys make their qualifying laps.
Yes, indeed. Talladega Super Speedway. Um, Very known for the high speeds, high banks, and just the sheer chaos at times that it can bring, whether in the wrecks or even the finishes at times can be very close. So the first race held here when the track was finished in 1969. Basically, there was a few cup cars left and drivers after the walkout happened because the drivers that formed the driver union back in the day, there was this driver association that was formed. They walked out. They considered the track to be too it wasn't paved smooth enough to the Goodyear tire liking, so they decided to strike. And anyway, only a handful of drivers remained, and the what would be recognized today as the Busch Grand National Series cars were allowed in because that's what Bill France had to do to get that race underway as scheduled. Anywho, it was won eventually by one of the Dodge Daytona teams. Um First race held here. Anyway, so it's known for its close finishes. Ron Bouchard had the first close finish, I believe, here. Whenever he passed Darrell Waltrip and a few others, I believe Terry Labonte uh, made it three wide coming through the tri-oval, and right at the exit of the tri-oval, as most of everybody knows as a racing fan, the start-finish lane is right outside the tri-oval here at Talladega, unlike Daytona. So it made for some interesting finishes throughout the years. Kevin Harvick, Jimmy McMurray in the COT era, the four-wide finish that they had with Jimmy Johnson being pushed by Dale Jr. To the win in that race. So many great finishes, races. The Dale Earnhardt last win was here at Talladega. He held the record for many years of being the most winningest driver on a super speedway until Jeff Gordon took that title away from him. But yes, Talladega, 2.66 miles in length, and it back in the day, Mark Donohue, who was a Porsche driver. He drove everything, Trans Am. He drove Cup cars. He did it all, and he set the land speed record here at Talladega, closed course land speed record in a souped up Penske Porsche. Can-Am car back in the day. It's basically what would be considered a prototype in today's racing knowledge, but used to, if you wanted to try to do a land speed record, you would come to Talladega in North America. Don't really do that sort of stuff anymore, but it's just really cool. A lot of different knowledge about it. It was an airfield. A lot of people speculated it's ancient Indian burial ground just because ancient or ancient some type of native burial ground, but just because of the land that it's on, right? It's on old Native American land. There was Native Indians that used to live in this part of the country, right? So, anywho, Talladega, Brian, in a nutshell.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the useful information. I'm going to go over the starting grid real quick. So starting P1 would be Peter, P2 would be Brandon Moore, P3 would be Jaden Sanchez. P4 would be Joe Stipe, P5 would be Caleb, P6 would be Joe, P7 would be Jason. P8 would be Austin Moore. P9 will be Aaron Bradford. P10 will be Josh Small. P11 will be Matthew Wilson. P12 will be Tyler Myers. P13 will be Paul Larson. P14 will be Phillip. P15 will be Jacob. P16 will be Matthew. P17 will be Brock. P18 will be Kyle. And P19 will be Christopher Campbell. I'm going to go over the information real quick. So you see we're at Talladega in Alabama. 2.6 mile track. It's 75%. It's 75 degrees out. 41% humidity. Partly cloudy. 4 mile per hour wind. 60 laps, 160 miles. 70% fuel. 4 sets of tires, and 1 quick fix.
So, yes, indeed, like we talked about, Talladega, Alabama. What would you say, Brian? A 25, 30-minute, if well, maybe an hour drive from Birmingham, if that. I don't know if you've ever been that far down to Alabama. I can't remember. So anyway, yes, okay, so you wouldn't know. I've been through Talladega, or that stretch of the interstate. You know, you go right by the racetrack if you was to go towards your neck of the woods per se. But like I talked about, lots of different things have happened here at Talladega. It's known for its fast racing and. It's chaotic races. Some have actually. I want to say there's been 3, maybe 2. I think it's 3. I think there's been 3 caution-free races here in the real world, real life, racing here at Talladega. Mark Martin won one of those. I think it was the first ever caution-free race here at Talladega. It might have been the second, but it's a tough track. It can be mentally demanding more so than physically, just because of all the thinking that you have to do throughout these type of super speedway races. This is also the track that Bobby Allison had one of his famous wrecks where he, I want to say blew a tire, got airborne in the tri-oval, right at the flag stand, right at the exit of the tri-oval, almost into the flag stand, and it was the race that that led to restrictor plates being on race cars after that, trying to slow them down, bring them down. Another fun fact, Davey Allison won that race where his father went into the catch fence after a lengthy repair time. Anywho, yes, getting here, everybody doubled up, lights are out here on the parade lap on the pace car, so 19 starters, Brian. This is our biggest field of the season. And after this, I believe only 5 races remain, if I'm not mistaken.
I do believe so, as you see here. They are getting ready
Good to see.
to take the green.
Yes. I was going to say, good to see our buddy Pete back.
So right there, turn 1, Peter out front here, followed by the hungry pack of guys behind him. We're all going down that long straightaway there.
So 60 laps of running, looking at a fuel mileage length. If it was to stay green, Brian, we're looking at about 23 laps on a full tank. So, and if I would say at least everybody would at least take right side tires, at least right sides when they was to come down and get that fuel that they ever so importantly need. because it's quicker just to take right sides than a full four tire stop. You don't necessarily need four tires, I don't think, here. Maybe you don't need tires at all. We're just going to have to find out as dicey early goings here. Oh man, oh man. The three, oh yes, we got a spinner going around. I knew we were going to see something of this early going, and for sure, it all started when we had the three STP looking Richard Petty machines, the 44, 45, and 43, getting up top, trying to make a lane going. I don't know if one got bumped or just arrow loose. And then it just a chain reaction from there, everybody trying to scatter, move about, get out of the way. And unfortunately, as we see here,
there you go, we get a better view.
can't tell if he got touched on the entry of the corner, if he was checking up for Jaden in the three. He just gets loose, it looks like. He's trying, these cars can be quite a handful, and once you start to lose it, Brian, it's almost gone from there. You're just going to be fighting and fighting and fighting. And especially in the turns. The turns, it's the worst place, to lose that arrow with these cars. They're so aero dependent.
Yeah, but that'll do it.
They're going so quick, and just the slightest askew, you kind of saw, the three of Jaden up there, as those three cars, the 44, 45, and the 43 was trying to get a run made on the high side. Air was kind of taken off the nose of those three cars in a sense, because the two leaders had kind of got into the middle of the track, and he probably would think he just could have got loose working the throttle, trying to maybe check up for Jaden or the two race leaders in front of him, and maybe could have got a nudge, because everybody's trying to be racy at first, gain positions, and then once the tires start to wear a little bit more, these cars will become a bit more of a handful at the speeds they are going. As you can see, Redding on board here, Josh Smalls. It's all going to happen in front of him. I didn't see in real time or the first replay if he got involved here. Does he get involved, Brian? We're about to find out here. Going way down low to avoid everything. Still going low, almost all the way down to the inside retaining wall. Used to be just an embankment, and he's going to meet the 45 car. What goes up must come down. Everything slides down. Oh, we see tire detachment. All three of the, I guess you could call them the Petty Enterprise gang, excuse me, just getting caught up here early goings, trying to make hay, trying to make day on that outside lane. And the lead car of that group trying to get up to the two race leaders, I would say, just kind of broke loose, Brian, from the looks of things. And it just unraveled from there.
Absolutely, Will. I do agree with you. I see it was right on board with Austin Moore. I do believe he had a little bit to do with that.
Oh, man. Can you rewind that just a little bit? All right. All right, like you said, riding here with Austin, he is on the bottom here, but he's probably going to get a bit aero tight because, like we said, these cars finally getting wound up here. It's lap 2 of the race. So he's going to get a bit aero tight. He's going to wash up the track. And right there, as he gets into the middle lane, you can see either just a bit of aeroness wash, or there could have been slight contact, or maybe net code happening between the 3 and the 44 machine. Anyway, the 44 loses aero, just gets loose right there, up on the high side, carrying so much speed. It can happen, very easy, and chaos ensues. Oh man, Joe Stipe goes for a vicious ride, and wow, look at that. Austin misses it by a hair, and the 42 barely, he gets clipped. Austin got into the back of Joe. My apologies, seeing the replay from the other camera that I have there. But anywho, Austin got by the spinning 43 as he was coming down the track, though. But just sometimes you have nowhere to go when a log jam occurs or some type of chain reaction. Something happens. You're just trying to avoid the wreck, and sometimes, I believe. How many cars do you know got caught up in that? Because that was hard to count. I'd love to say at least half the field, if not more there, Brian.
Yes, it was well half the field here.
So I'm going to get the green flag here with 55 laps remaining, 54 after they cross the stripe. And look at that, so many cars. Did we mess up with the setting, or is something off, or what's going on?
Yeah, I might have made an oopsie. Instead of putting a single file, I might have put a double file.
Well, maybe it's for the best for Talladega. Who knows? So that might mean that the wave around is on too. Anywho, so tried to be a bit racy early on. We're going to see if they're still going to stay racy. Like I said, 54 laps remaining here after back underway. Look at Aaron Bradford getting good on the outside, taking the tide ride to the front. He's going to have some help from Jacob Carter, perhaps, or Jacob may look to go in the middle, but no, he has no choice but to help that outside car of Aaron Bradford as the 3 and 18 kind of come up the track to side draft on the exit of turn 4. And now, that's never good. Huge crash here, just on the getting up to
that was
speed
massive.
lap, I guess you could. Yes, just I don't think PETA had any steering there. There was nothing I don't think he could have done to steer down from Joe or Josh. My apologies, coming back down. I don't know if rewind that a little bit further. Right, just as they come out of the start-finish stripe. Just rewind it a little bit back, a little bit more. Right there. Okay, that's great. Okay, so right here, we're coming through the tri-oval. Jaden trying to give some bumps here, it looks like, or at least get up to the back of the 18 of Peter. And Peter's going to stay down low to defend the 3. And maybe coming up, and I don't want to really maybe say they met, but maybe they just had a meeting of the minds there. Bradford coming down and Peter going up at the same time, because Peter trying to maybe possibly go back and get some sort of side draft, or just, oh man. Look here. Austin couldn't miss that one. Oh man. Is that our point leader, or our second man in points? That is Brock Page.
Yes, Brock Page get involved in that.
He threw me off because new paint scheme tonight. Brock Page in what would basically look like almost like a Goodwrench or like a Goodwrench plus Dale Earnhardt paint scheme almost, or some sort of that on like an '87 uh, like his own twist on it is what I'm saying. Coming through here. This is back on board now with Brock going through the tri-oval. He is behind, I guess you could say, partner in crime or teammate and also rival in the championship hunt, Jacob Carter. They are on the outside trying to make it work, giving Bradford a push. It just looks like one came down slightly and the other went up a little bit more than... They just kind of met, Brian. I don't know if I don't know if Peter got a push from Jaden and the three that we couldn't quite get an angle on, that we couldn't see.
Jaden got to the quarter of the 18, which sent him up into the 25, took him off of his plan there. So that's what happened there. Well,
man, well, as Bill France would say, they're really stinking up the show. But anyway, the show is still going on. It looks like Joe Stipe is the race leader with his repaired 33 Skull Bandit car. Let's bring him down into the booth real quick while the lights are still on the pace car. Let's see what his opinions are of the start of this race. I'd like to get his opinion. Hey, Joe, it's Will and Brian down in the booth. How you doing so far? You've been caught up in the first wreck there that we had on the second lap of the race, and now on the get up to speed lap, basically on the drop of the green flag, just chaos ensues, and you able to escape through it. But what's your thoughts so far, man? I was hoping tonight was going to be exciting. It was going to be a great show, and it's almost getting stinky.
Well, it's just, once you get in a pack, these cars get really tight going into the corner, and
Right.
if you don't control it going into the corners with either letting off the gas or dragging the brake, you're going to push up, and they're getting a little sloppy, and it's causing issues. The whole reason I decided to stay out this lap was that and get out front to try to keep everybody behind me.
Right. Sounds like a great battle plan. If you're the leader, the only thing really that you got to worry about just really getting spun around, right? So, it just looks like people are just not necessarily, I guess, being patient. They're just being super aggressive. I was looking forward to some racing, but do you think we might see some, Joe, or you think it just might be just more chaos from here on out?
Well, most of everybody's quick fixes are probably gone by now. So,
So you think they got it out their system?
Yeah, well, they're going to have to, because, I'm one of them. I use that quick repair on that first caution. And so now I'm trying to play it a little bit safe, and I figure the safest place is out in front. But everybody else that's behind me that has already used their quick repairs, they're going to have to show a lot of patience now, because littlest miscalculation, and they're going to be done.
Yes, exactly. If they haven't shown it before, they need it now. But thanks for talking to us, Joe. Best of luck to you going forward, man.
All right, thank you.
Well, there we have it, Brian. I agree with him. He spoke everything true there. So just, got to be patient here. And if you don't have the patience, I would almost not suggest in taking part. But that's just from one honest driver to another, per se. So, or anyone out there, that likes going fast, but you got to be patient with it, right? You got to handle it. And if you can't handle it, then back down the reins a little bit, Anyway, back under green flag running here, taking the green.
Yep, just type out front here. Now Brandon Moore with Bradford right behind him and Jaden behind him. Who's going to make the first attempt to try to pass and cause another incident here, or these drivers going to just ride in line?
Well, it looks like we're trying to ride in line, at least for the moment, but nope, Bradford bails out on trying. I think he just saw Jaden in his rear view, and he's like, I got to get away from that. Anyway, so Bradford now the race leader on the bottom lane, Jacob Carter behind the Skull Bandit car of Joe Stipe. So that's the bottom line, and I did not even mean to. Wow, Stone Cold kind of took me there for a minute. Anyway, Brandon, if I was you, I'd just get down in front of Bradford well, now Bradford has that momentum on the bottom. Here he comes. Hey, there's the 42 of Lawson. He's making some moves, looking pretty stout after he got the quick fix. Like Joe was talking about, there is pretty much everybody now in the field, Brian. If you wasn't collected in the first wreck, I think you got involved in the second. So I believe everybody's burned the quick fix. So you either got to be patient, turn into someone. Not trying to call anybody out, but kind of turn into Josh. You know how Josh Smalls kind of normally races these races. Just just try to be there at the end type of equation. You don't have to be racy all the time, and you do have to respect that strategy because it can win you some races. So looking up here, we have a good battle pack up at the front. Brandon Moore, Jaden Sanchez, Jacob Carter, Philip Bridgman, Austin Moore on the outside lane. And the bottom down here, it's Aaron Bradford, Joe Stipe, and Lawson in the 42. I'll learn his first name eventually. I like to say I'm better with faces. So, anywho, just looking up further back, seeing where everybody's at, how everybody's doing. Speaking of Josh, here he is, just fighting the good fight. Like we talked about, pretty much everybody has already used their quick fix. Something arrived with the 44 machine. He's letting everybody go, possibly getting back. Oh, Jacob Carter could have possibly had a shunt in the wall. Don't know. He's fallen off the pace. He was way up high, letting everybody go. So
Oh yeah, he might have had a slip up there with being in the front, and might have just lost the rear a little bit, Will.
yes, indeed. Looks like that's what could have happened. He walked it up the track, couldn't control the dog. Montevill could have just went to the back of that pack per se, Brian, or maybe he could still have ailing damage, from the lingering wrecks. Not too sure. You don't want to fall off the pace too much of anybody you could be getting a tow or drafting off of in front of you, because once you lose the draft here, if you think you're going quick around here by yourself, the cars go even quicker in the draft. Everybody knows that, so got to be careful up here, back at the front. So, organization in both lanes, each lane getting momentum at different times. Everybody's now trying to stay away from one another, it looks like. Josh isn't too far off the front. I thought he was a little bit further back, but no, he's up here. Excuse me. I think it looks like Carter and Josh and them, they're keeping a few car links back, hoping if they get together up there up in the front, something they'll have time to get away from it is what I'm trying to get at. So Brandon Moore pacing around, leading this race at the moment. Bradford on the bottom. So Brandon Moore and Bradford respectfully leading the race, I guess you could say. Their respective line. Bradford now only has help from, who is that? Is that Austin?
Yes, I do believe that is Austin up there.
So, oh, Caleb Sellner's in this race. I just now kind of saw his car there. I mean, I knew he was in the race. Yes, when you said the rundown of the grid, but you know, more so known to, you know, peek in every now and again. Good to see him here at Talladega. You can see now that outside lane just has just a couple more cars, and oh, Joe going back for the lead. A really aggressive move by Joe. And oh no, it's going to cost him. Oh, cost him severely here.
That was a massive wreck, and poor Brandon got involved in that. Something Brandon didn't want this early on, but we'll see.
I don't think neither one of them wanted it. Going into turn one, Jaden gives Joe a bump, and Joe decides to take that momentum and try to go for the lead. But as soon as he goes for the lead, you know, kind of that wall of air that you hit whenever you get out of line, that kind of looks like what happened, because Joe immediately got stalled when they were 3 wide. It looks like, and just, man, that's just sad all around. You can see here these cars, like we talked about
at the moment. I think he might have gotten a little loose with the arrow there, and that's what sent it. But once again, Austin Moore got lucky here again and got through it all.
Like we talked about, you know, these cars are so aero dependent. They need their aero, and when you get really tight beside another car, you know, you're just going to lose it all. You're going to get, you know, just drug or sucked into one another per se. That's what happens here. Just big hits all around, big rides. You can see there, he kind of struggling, fighting with the wheel once he gets put in that 3 wide situation, and just trying to drive out of it. And like you said, just possibly just nothing he could have done there after taking that bump from Jaden getting into the corner. He going into the corner, Brandon probably expected Joe to just stay behind him. And, oh man. It's greatly becoming a race of attrition here. I feel it's going to be one of those.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, that's exactly what it's going to turn out to be. Remember, a lot of these guys used their quick fix early on, so if they got involved in it, then unfortunately that's what it's going to be. Now, what do? You just hang out in the back, or do you just hope for the best?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say, you know, hang out in the back, but, you know, you can still be racy and ride around at the front. you don't necessarily have to go for every time you get a push or a shove or a run. Like even like what Joe was talking about. That you can use the brake or work the throttle. Even what we talked about at the top of the show. You are going to have to work the pedals here to stay in line if you just want to ride. It's a 60-lap race, and we are just now a quarter of the way through because of our third caution here, working, lap 21 under caution. So it's just one of those things that you got to learn to be patient with, and it's one of those tracks that the race just has to come to you, sort of thing. And unfortunately, we're just seeing less patience here tonight for some reason. Some people are not necessarily
They think
not
it's
being
super
patient,
speedway,
but
Will, so they keep their foot in it, and they want to just keep pushing. So that's probably what the issue is here. So we'll just have to see how this one turns out. Like I said, a lot of these guys used up their quick fixes, so hopefully they can stay out of it, and hopefully we'll probably see a couple more blowovers, if that.
Well, yeah, these cars don't have roof flaps. They're pretty easy to get over once they start to go, but it's anyone's race at this point. Like he talked about, everyone been using their quick fixes. What's down left is just getting the repairs that they can out of the car. Hopefully you didn't make the boo-boo there and give them, basically unlimited quick fixes. Hopefully you didn't, Brian, but that would be a big boo-boo. It's happened before. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but hopefully that's not the case tonight.
No, sir, I didn't. It was just the restarts.
Oh, okay. I gotta mess you I gotta give you some type of beef or something, whenever, because of that, because you gave them, all those unlimited fast repairs that one night. I think they were at Daytona in the Cup cars.
I think they were. I think they absolutely were.
Or no, I think it might have been Vegas. It was either Daytona or Vegas. I remember it being a night race. And me and Chris Camaria was like, shouldn't these drivers be out of the race? Like how are they getting repaired? It was great. So, back to green flag action here.
Tyler Myers and Austin Moore working that outside wheel. This time by Austin Moore is going to be the leader. And they're going to dive down low there in front of Paul Austin there. Austin could possibly will lead this lap. You see Jacob Carter to the outside. But from the way it looks like Austin Moore is going to lead this. This is only his second race in this series here, so we'll see how well he does, Will.
Yeah, his second race in these cars, so never know. Anything's possible. Anybody could win here. We all know that. That's kind of the terminology that gets used around a lot, but it does take a lot of knowledge, to win here at these plate tracks or super speedways, however you prefer to call them. As Caleb Sellner getting down at the bottom, getting out of the way, back to the back. He wants to be just a little bit further back just in case something else occurs. He doesn't want to be in it. Tight physical racing it has been so far this evening. Not even halfway through yet. We're only 5 laps away from that being halfway. Jaden Sanchez giving a good push to the 97 of Philip Bridgman. As Austin Moore and Tyler Myers down at the bottom. Myers, he straddled the apron. I thought he was about to lose her, and Aaron Bradford tagged the wall. luckily giving enough room, everybody giving space, room to breathe. Sip of water time, Anyway, so, Austin, be careful, buddy. Getting a bit swirly, we are. Gotta control that. Like we've harpened about, carrying the speed that you are into these corners. That car is going to want to walk the dog, so you almost have to turn in a little bit sooner than you think. And just prepare. Set that car up in the right angle. Looks like Austin's
trying everything, but he is getting a little loose on that inside. He better be careful because he comes up and puts Phil. Philip had to use a quick fix, and that would put Philip out of the race, though.
Indeed, and also it looks like Austin's not taking the bump in the bottom lane in the trial too well, but yes, a lot of these guys, they're either going for broke or also just, racing to be racing, but yeah, like we talked about, do believe pretty much everybody's used up their quick fixes, so it's tight, hard, but great racing up here at the front. Josh Smalls is now back up here, looking around, just seeing perhaps what he can do. As Philip Bridgman takes the lead in the 97 machine for a brief moment, but I think he might have had a light brush with the wall, light kiss with the wall. That's going to slow his momentum down the back straightaway. Back again comes Austin Moore in the 53. That's some really good textbook side drafting.
Austin Moore's getting some help from Tyler Myers there. Tyler Myers is a great pusher, but not so much in these cars. You don't want to do too much. These cars are not like the next-gen cars, so yeah, that's another thing.
Are the COT cars?
Yes, correct.
They don't. They have more curvature, more characteristics, more facial expressions, you could say, than the COT cars or the cars that they race today. The Gen 7 cars. Jaden Sanchez brushes the wall there. He's going to lose a couple of spots, and also Philip Bridgman going to lose his pusher as that bottom lane just a bit more stronger. Jaden only lost the positions on the bottom. He didn't lose enough momentum, but hey, here comes the Petty cars, sponsored with the JD Stacy. So, they have 3 bullets in the gun. One of those cars could win it. Back at the front, Austin Moore leading currently. At the halfway point, 30 laps to go here. Everybody still has to make a pit stop, Brian.
Oh yeah, the question is though, when are they going to do it? Well, that's the question. I was going to do our little crank it up portion, but we don't know when pit stops are going to take place, so
I would suggest at least, hopefully everybody's going to try to get...
Right.
Oh, okay. Oh, they still have to make another... They would still need at least one more caution. You didn't put green, white checkers in, did you?
Absolutely not.
I was just double checking because the double file. Okay, looks like somebody lifted up one of the JD Stacy cars. Here we go. We're going through turns 1 and 2 here. It's going to be the 45 car, so it looks like the 45 is going to come down low. He's coming low, 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 low. He trying to get down behind his fellow teammates. Oh, man, so lots of movement happening here.
So right there, the 43
Oh,
hits
the
the
43
wall.
hits the wall. Yes, in unison, Brian. Love it. Coming down, Jaden go wreck avoidance, but he loses control of the car, and the 45 checks up and gets gets rear-ended. Oh, hard hit for Jaden. 45 gets rear-ended by the 37. That's a tough break for Jaden. He was up front, all night, and one of the top contenders of the race, I guess you could say. But could it be karma? I don't know, Brian. But Joe out there getting possibly a lap back or just catching up to the field after. Oh no, that was. Did Joe get involved in that one?
No, there was another instance in the back of the field, so.
Oh, okay. Multiple shenanigans going on with that caution. So
Yes.
just
But Austin Moore's seen it, I would
maybe a
say.
checkup. Maybe a checkup in the back whenever everybody was checking up for the wreck in front. So had some pit takers and non-pit takers per chance, or maybe did everybody pit? Or do you know? Do you know, D-Way?
For what? Sorry.
Did everybody pit under this caution?
The only one that stayed out was Bradford, Selner, and Page.
All right, so the
That's
front three
about it.
stayed out.
So from Austin Moore
Everybody.
all the way back was
Yep.
pitted. So good old AB will be the leader, taking this green flag, and then we'll see where we go with the fourth caution of the night here tonight, Will.
You sure you didn't give him unlimited fast repairs?
Yes.
Okay. That Monte Carlo just must be like the Incredible Hulk for Jaden, then. Just keeps taking a beating. Or maybe Jaden had it pretty locked down and the hit didn't looked worse than what it was, perhaps, you know what I mean? So Selner and Page is pitting. Bradford stays out. Bradford probably thinking we'll have more caution. Are the lights still on the pace car? I can't tell from this camera
sir,
angle,
it's
sorry. Okay.
Well, fourth caution If they can manage to keep it green, we will do our cutaway. A little under 30 laps to go, Will, here tonight.
Yeah, it will be 25. It looks like at the line. So maybe, perhaps, probably not, but could be within the ballpark of making it, Brian. If it stays green.
It could
I
be a
still think
very
they would.
tight squeeze, Will, for sure. But we'll
I
just
still
have
think they would
to
need a pit stop.
wait and see.
You think the admins went to a single file restart here?
That is a quite possibility.
That's what it looks like. Bringing them down, Bradford is.
Yeah, the Bradford's bringing them back. Austin Moore up his tail, and Matthew Huntsaker right behind him. It does look like Austin has some little rear damage there, but it shouldn't affect him too much. And golly, is this base going off like crazy.
Well, over there in all the places, it wouldn't surprise me if, we declare war on somebody in the coming future. Anywho, but not to talk about that. Hopefully, nobody, pays attention too much on that. Josh, why are you dragging the wall down? Get out the wall, buddy. So, Norton up here in the 45 machine, kind of away from his battle buddies. Campbell up in the 68. He's trying to get inside the top 5. Hunsaker in the 37 had the lead for a brief moment.
Oh, you see Austin giving a hell of a shot to Bradford there. About almost took the rear off of Bradford's car with coming in so fast like that and to the back. No, that just sounded completely all wrong, but my apologies. But he gave a hell of a shot to the back of the 25 of Bradford, trying to keep him up there. Matthew Huntsaker doing some work on the outside with Jaden Sanchez, Will.
Yes, after we've seen Jaden, Jaden's a very aggressive driver. And we've seen that throughout multiple different races, and that's just his driving style. And everybody drives differently, so it's very surprising to still, in a way, see Jaden up here. But sometimes it's hard to get out of that aggressive driving style. You just kind of it can sometimes just stay with you, and that's what can be a good thing, but also be a bad thing at times. But it's been a good thing so far because he's been up front pretty much all night. He's been, like I said earlier, he's been contending all night, taking the car back to the front of the field. He wants to lead this race. Matthew Huntsaker in the 37 now. Could lose 3 positions, but Campbell going to let him in? No, Campbell wants to go and take that position away. We look back here at the 45 and 44. Montague and Norton.
Well, we can hurry up and do our cutaway. We get us self-hydrated and come back to the action if they can keep it green. So we'll give them a short little brief crank it up section here. So enjoy the sounds and we'll be right back.
oh, we got a crash. That's big trouble. That's Brandon Moore and Tyler Myers and a few others there. Huge crash as they were going through 3 and 4.
Good thing was, right as I was coming back, I caught it.
Huge moment. Oh, Tyler Myers and Tyler and Brandon were in a tandem, and Tyler, like I said, Tyler and Brandon were in a tandem, and I don't know, right before they got into turn 3, did Myers get back to the bumper, or, oh, okay, that's just odd, like the car just, did iRacing make it to where you can't tandem in these cars? That just looks weird.
You probably can't.
Because look how fast they were going in a straight line, Brian. They were making some hay. And then they get to turn 3 and like Brandon's car just tornadoes. Like it just spins around. Did Myers get to him right at turn 3 and lift his wheels up, or? Yeah, I mean, but it just, big hit for Kyle Gooden in the 5. Innocent bystander in that, but man, it just looks like to me that iRacing doesn't want you to tandem in these cars. I know, broadcasters that, stream iRacing and whatnot, they're not supposed
Austin
to.
Moore stood out well. Yep, Austin stood out. And then Brock and all them came in and
man, that just looks crazy. They were going so quick, and then it just, man, I bet you Brandon's going to say the same thing after the race if we get to talk to him, after all is said and done. We sometimes get to talk to drivers and whatnot, after the race, even after the broadcast, we get to talk, and maybe he might say similar things that I just said, that it was just kind of crazy that his car just all of a sudden snapped when it looked like it was going.
I said we can probably talk to Austin, but I don't know if we want to put that jinx on him.
No, man, we don't necessarily have to pull anybody in. We could just keep jib-jabbing. Austin Moore's leading the race.
Okay,
Brock Page second. I'm just saying,
No, that's good because we don't want to put the commentary curse on these guys.
Yeah, like they've already been doing enough on their own. We don't need to help them with it exactly. So, Oklahoma. Yeah, totally. I agree, Austin. Yes. Hook 'em horns there. 16 laps to go, so everybody should be good to go on fuel. And I would even suspect Austin feels comfortable that he is good to go on fuel as well. I feel like it's a smart decision. If you can save that fuel under caution, like I said, right before we went back to green flag racing, like I said, everybody should be good to go on fuel. Maybe it's a possibility. And since they got a caution, I don't see why they can't, somebody stretch it, make it work. And, I know Austin can save some fuel when needed. So I believe he feels comfortable. We're going to get the restart here with 14 laps to go. So that means that, moment he heard cautions out, he probably started saving at that point, So, Hunsaker's up here in the 37. Campbell's in the top 5. Caleb Sellner, 6th position. Jacob Carter, 7th. Josh Malls is in 8th. Wilson Monteval rounds out the top 10. And Norton is in 11th. That's the 3 J.D. Stacy Petty machines, who seem to be really up in the fight. Like, they really try to bring the fight to everybody tonight. Brandon Moore, I feel like you gave him more quick fixes, Brian, than just one, because pretty much everybody's still out there, except for some that just, I guess, I don't know why they, Anywho, green flag. I respect the admin decision to, go to the single file restarts after the oopsie, or maybe how chaotic the double foulness was. So Austin Moore led him back to the green. Brock Page on the back bumper. Jaden Sanchez now breaking downstairs.
It's only one quick fix.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So somehow or another, these drivers are just getting back out with the repairs that are being made in the pit road, and they're trying to make it work for them here tonight. They keep getting caught up in the dramas. So Jaden now went downstairs. Now he's going upstairs, trying to get by Austin Moore, the race leader. He feels he has a comfortable leading car. Austin has been through the wars. So look at Jacob Carter putting it through the middle. Almost 4 wide going through the tri-oval. Now, Matthew Hunsaker breaks down low. He gave Jacob a bump, but Jacob couldn't handle it. Anyway, that's going to... all those positions Jacob just gained, he lost right there. Anywho, now... back to the front, look at Brock Page going to the lead. Anyway, now look at Aaron Bradford in the tide ride. He's making some hay. He's coming back to the front. Austin Moore straddled that apron. Don't
Austin
do
Moore's
that.
Right there. But he's got to keep those tires off that apron. It is going to come back and is going to haunt him in that longer run. He's probably going to try to give Brock a push here, but...
Brandon Moore in the 47, he could get a tow. He could get a tow off the front of this field. He is right there. He is not too far back out of the picture frame. There he is, that final car on the very bottom in the Miller High Life car. There he is. He's got the tow. He's now a part of this pack. Look at that.
And here comes Caleb right back there, getting the tow off the back of Carter. As Jacob's going to slide in there, do the best he can to try to keep it off of Matt. Lost some ground there, and that's going to do that. Brock Page jumps back to the outside in front of Jaden. Jaden's going to try to control both lanes here, Will, with Austin on the bottom there. I think Austin's sitting in a good spot in case if those guys in the front do come to...
I was about to say it's going to be very hard to control both lanes because how much of a closing rate and how fast these cars can come up at you. Okay, and that outside lane, it's going to be very tough. Brock Page goes downstairs to get a whiff of a side draft off of the Wrangler machine of Jaden. And he might have that momentum down this back straightaway to carry him and Matthew. Austin walked it up the track. Almost got in to the 88 machine. What an epic dogfight we have in the closing 10 laps of this race. If they are able to hold it for 10 more laps, I don't know. Oh my goodness. So much action going on. Look at Matthew Hunsaker. He went downstairs. He's trying to take the lead away from Brock
right
Page.
there,
That's not going to happen.
Carter put the block on Jaden, took that line away. Jaden's not going to be too happy
Yes, he
about
did.
that, for sure.
Well, he's protecting him and his teammate there. Him and Brock, they're going to be protecting one another. They're going to try to finish 1-2 or maybe settle amongst themselves if they can. And, oh, look at this. This is just great. Vintage Talladega racing here where the high lane is the benefactor. So, got to keep that car wound up. Better place to do it up on the top. If you can get somebody behind you, at least 1 to 2 more people to hold the exact same line that you can, it's going to be great. Look at the bottom, trying to fester, trying to form up a line. Matthew Hunsaker, Austin Moore, Christopher Campbell in the 68. 3 strong competitors that can hold a pretty wheel are on the bottom line. Aaron Bradford might have a toe. He does have a whiff. He could. Oh, they make contact coming off of turn 4, but they are able. Look at the car control that Matthew Hunsaker had in his Monte Carlo. Unbelievable car control coming through the triangle to get 9 laps to go here. No, that was 8 laps to go. 8 to go.
It's going to be a wild 8 laps here. You see Matthew sliding up there. Now leaving Austin out to dry, which is going to hurt. So we'll see how this shakes out here. Well,
I think Austin could have a lead car if he could get back to the front, but he just needs someone behind him. As Hunsaker goes back to the bottom to get a push, he saw Moore coming. He wanted a push. Now going back downstairs, only 2 cars in the top. Everybody trying to get separated from the Carter and Page duo. Oh my goodness. They are trying to freight train the duo. You could almost call them the dynamic duo. Jaden trying to taste more of the wall there on the outside, but he's still out there hanging strong. Oh, it's collided.
that was about ugly. That was
Oh man. We're still green?
no,
We're still green. Oh, okay. Oh, man. So, Hunsaker came up to get a side draft from the 68 of Brock Page, and they just got too close. They got sucked into one another. We saw that earlier in the race. And that just, I didn't think they were going to go, 14 laps to the finish, and 6 laps to go. We have what would be our final caution of the race. Because if another caution comes out after this, it is surely the final caution and would end the race here. So Hunsaker, we see here the replay. Hunsaker was trying to play the line.
Yeah, it was just like what you said. Try to play the line. He got a hell of a shot by Campbell, which sent him into the 37. Lifted the rear up a little bit, sent Matthew into Brock.
Oh man, that's what happened. Austin got a push, which that propelled Austin into. Oh man, just a bad chain of like unfortunate events.
Yes.
Transpiring here. Nothing else but to say that just a product of the racing here at Talladega. I know it's not what Brock wants to hear, but that is the That is the product of the racing here at Talladega. It doesn't matter what rules package you have, what cars. You could have the trucks. You could have the COTs. You could have the Gen 4s. It doesn't matter what you bring here. You're going to get swept up in something. It doesn't matter. It is product of the racing.
It is Talladega, Will, so we know how spicy this can be. 6th caution of the night. Could Austin get it done, or are they going to leave Austin Moore hanging out to dry, Will? I believe Austin had a hell of a race tonight. Kept his nose clean majority of it, and that's just the nature of the beast.
Well, Brandon Moore and Aaron Bradford setting P3 and P4 right now. Christopher Campbell, who really wants to, I know he wants to win a race so badly. He looks like could be sitting in 6th position right now. We got Caleb Sellner here tonight. We've talked about it. Anything could happen. Anybody could win this race, and it's really proving its worth right now. So lights are still on the pace car. Josh Small. Let's wrangle Josh in. Give him a holler. Josh.
Yes, sir.
Howdy doody. So, looks like this should be the final caution of the race, unless another one comes out. That will be then the final caution of the race. But anyway, looking forward to be the final restart. Are you going to look to help somebody win this race, or are you going to try? What's the mindset right here, Josh?
Get up to speed. I don't have a good restart. This car will not go. She's sluggish on restarts. Once we get up to speed, it's alright. But I'm on more tires. We have a few of these guys on fresher tires, so it's going to be a handful.
Well, kind of turned into a race of attrition, and it's turned into I don't want to say bumper cars, but it's been something else, Josh. It's been a show, to say the least. But
oh yeah, definitely.
It's been great. What's your overall thoughts so far?
When we're green, racing's good. You got guys slicing and dicing, making moves.
Oh, yeah.
Creating the excitement that we all look for on super speedways. It's just some of these guys, when they get that massive run and know where to go, they don't want to, stab the brake, or they're towards the middle. We had great runs. Guys were lifting. We were getting, fuel run and tire wear in. But, it's the end of the race right now, so these guys are going to go. They're going to go forward. Like I said, I'm going to try to get up to speed. I got a couple teammates around me, and, if I can work with somebody, I'll work with somebody. If I got a chance to go for it, I'm going to go for it. But I'm going to play it smart until, I take that white flag, come down the backstretch, and then, I got to decide what move I'm going to make.
Well, best of luck to you, Josh. Thanks for talking to us, and thanks for, the opinions and all. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Yep, thank you.
Well, we've heard it from Josh. That's his, his mindset, his mentality. Everybody getting lined up here. That Mustang iRacing Ford Mustang coming off the racetrack now, hopefully for the final time of calling. And Austin Moore in the lead of this race, bringing it down to the green. Jaden Sanchez, Brandon Moore, no relation to the race leader of Austin Moore, just like Leroy Yarborough and Kel Yarborough. They were no relation, no kin. Aaron Bradford makes the first move. He goes down to the bottom lane, but no momentum, not enough, ain't got up to speed, no oomph yet. Everybody getting up to horsepower. We are just now into 4th gear, probably right here. Anyway, so getting up to speed. We're still reaching speed, climbing and climbing. So, how does Austin try to win this race here in the final 3 laps? It's a shootout. Oh, Jaden. Oh no, this is not the time to be doing that. No. Oh no. The hungry pack is right behind everybody. The two Moors trying to get together, but can't. Jaden is in the middle. Look at the 68 of Campbell. He's down low. He's got help from Bradford. Here comes the J.D. Stacy cars. Josh getting sideways, but saves it. Here comes the outside lane working back. It is Austin Moore. Oh, trying everything he can to win this race. But he gets tight. Walks it up the track. There goes it. Oh, no. Oh. That was only 2 laps to go, so a caution will come out in theory. Theoretically, the race should be over if a caution is out right now. Are they still racing? No. So caution is out.
I might have messed up. They might have another shot at it.
No, come on, Brian. Can't you just race is over? Come on, man.
I think I gave it another shot.
No. Don't you have the authority? Like, don't the admins or you have the authority to end it?
Yes.
Well, then race should be over because of the. Yeah, man. Just because it happened at Daytona at the start of the season shouldn't mean it's okay. I feel I feel like it should be over. But that's just my opinion. What continues to happen?
I told Josh to call the race.
That with the rules and everything that we have for the series, that would only be the right thing, because it's gone past its scheduled 60 lap. You understand though, what I was.
Yes, sir. That was my fault. For some reason, I thought I was setting it up for. I don't know. But no, that's the rule.
Hey.
There's no green, white checkers, so that should be the race. So technically, Campbell should win it all.
Yes. But we'll wait here, I guess, to
hold on real quick. Hold on.
Proceedings.
I'm gonna go up there real fast. So,
And if only I was race control.
So you got Campbell up front, Bradford, Monteval, Wilson,
Monteval.
Sanchez.
Yep. Sanchez in 5th. Norton, Josh, Caleb, Carter, and Austin Moore with now his hatchback. He's got he for sure has a coupe. So working our seventh caution of the evening. Lights are out now.
Oh, yeah, Austin, this is not a cup car. You can't just hit the brakes like that.
Well, he also has no. Trunk. He has no deck lid. Has no trunk. He has no spoiler.
But so
Just trying to get out there and finish the race.
here they go again.
So look to get. I would expect the 3 JD Stacy cars to get out there and try to get to each other in a hurry. And it's so unpredictable what could happen here on this restart.
Well,
We know we have at least 2 more green, white checkers possibly of asking. So,
hopefully they can get it to the green here.
you mean get it to the checkered?
Yes.
Indeed. So, green flag back out in the air. Everybody going through the gears, getting up to speed. Like I said, the JD Stacy STP cars trying to get together, but can't quite. Jaden in the way of that, working at the moment. But the 44 and 43 go to the outside. They're going to fly by Campbell and Bradford, but Jaden puts it in the middle. Now, Jaden all the way to the outside has no help. He is being freight trained to the rear. Campbell back out up here. Oh no, he got put in the sucker hole. He's now in the middle. Back to the white flag. Next, got to bring it home. What's going to happen here going through turn 2? 3 wide down the back straightaway. Oh no, trouble. Everybody involved in this one. Everybody. Oh no. Huge hits. Who's the race leader?
Tyler Myers.
Tyler Myers, the race leader, coming out of that chaos. Tyler Myers is going to win this race. Brock Page finishes in 2nd place. I don't know who's in 3rd.
Joe Stipe.
Joe Stipe finishes P3. What a chaotic ending to this race.
Yeah, it was.
Myers, Page, Stipe, Moore. Selner is the top 5. Replaying the view here on the last lap. 3 wide gets going. 45, 68, 25 here. Very close racing. White flag lap, mind you. and everything's about to go awry real quick and in a hurry. Gonna see here. Bradford gets to the back of the 43, offset to the bumper, gives a push. Jaden doesn't know that Sellner's down there at his quarter, comes down the track, wipes out both cars. How did Sellner lost it, I bet, getting back, trying to get back up on the banking. Yep. That's what it looks like there from a little bit. Gonna have to wait here because, yep, I was about to say, there comes Campbell. He gets sent airborne. Bradford's already doing gymnastics over there. He's doing some cartwheels and just, oh my goodness. Miraculous crashing. Now, let's go back up to the front and rewind it, and let's look at Tyler Myers. Just miraculous as the slow motion there of Bradford going through the grass. All right, so here is the duo of Myers and Brandon Moore. They were working so well earlier as, they were experimenting, I guess you could say. Anyway, it starts to go, just everything goes down in front of them. This is almost a perfect separation of where you want to be when something would go awry, because you should have, in theory, enough time to react to the situation at hand. So everything starts to happen to the right, and some is going to slide down, some's going to stay on the track. Look at Jaden. Oh my goodness, oh man. All right, now get that camera back up front. I want to see what happens here. So Caleb loses a lot of momentum coming back up onto the banking. He loses so much momentum. What happens though? What happens here in turn 4 is going to be a mystery as we exit the corner, coming through. Might have to get off the onboard here. Oh, he gets. What happened? Pause it for him just a moment. Gonna have to get out the onboard and see what happened, because we don't have a good view. We need like a different view there. Brandon, I don't think, had nowhere to go because Tyler was coming down and squeezing, going to come down. And, man, oh man, so much happened on this final lap. And then here comes Paige. That tight points battle that Paige and Carter are wrapped up in. And here comes Joe Stipe.
What a wild finish, Will.
Absolutely wild finish. So let's try to wrangle everybody if we can.
Alright, so I got Joe. We'll go ahead and pull up Joe. Joe.
Yes, sir.
Well, what a wild finish, Joe.
Yeah. I'm surprised I made it.
Absolutely. I thought it was going to wrap up everybody when it started. Just miraculous finish. Third place. If you would have been asked, let's say, at lap 2 when you got involved in that crash, that you would have finished P3. Like if we would have known, the finish of this race, if you would have got P3, what would you have said?
I'll take it. I mean, Man, my game plan of being out in front of all the chaos didn't work out.
No,
And
it did not.
I got a lot of damage, and I kept coming in and working on it. Kept coming in and working on it, and on that last caution, um, I this league typically does not have green white checkered, so I was shooting through the middle, and then everybody was saying, "Hey, green white checkered." So I checked up and let people in front of me, and chaos ensued from there. But I went ahead, I just went right back into pits, and all my damage was fixed when I came out. I had fresh tires, and I put the pedal to the metal and just went in. The chaos ensued going into turn 3. I was just looking for a hole and aiming for it, and I checked up just a little bit, and Brock got into me a little bit because he didn't look at all, and it turned me a little bit, and I was able to save it and keep it straight, and then I just pointed to the line and kept the pedal to the floor and managed to come home third. So it was it was chaos, it was luck, and everything in between.
Well, it looked like a very chaotic race. I knew we were going to have chaos at some point. I didn't know it was going to be at the start and pretty much sprinkled throughout. Trying to find a picture of our schedule here.
Bristol.
Found it. Oh, man, I wanted to. So, yes, Bristol. You've been pretty quick and consistent. Getting really great at the short tracks, Joe. I would say you've been improving a lot. What's the mindset, the mentality going into Bristol? I almost feel as consistent as you've been about showing up and everything. I feel like you should be somewhere up in the top of the points with Brock and them. It feels like, at least to me, I haven't got to see the points lately, but just tell us about the thoughts going into Bristol next week.
Last time I looked at the end of the last race, I was still in third. Brandon was creeping up behind me.
There you go.
And as far as Bristol goes, I'm both excited and nervous because is there any chance that we could put the roll cages on the outside of the car? Because it's going to get wild, probably.
Yeah, turn it into a Wayland modified there. It could be just as chaotic as Dega was tonight. You never can tell with Bristol. It's almost like a Dega race. Sometimes you never can tell with them. But yeah, man, P3 after just a wild Talladega race here tonight. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else you'd like to add, Joe?
Shout out to y'all for sticking with this race because it was absolute chaos. Thanks to everybody for watching. The regulars in the series, thanks to them. Everybody was getting a little bit frustrated with all the cautions, but everybody hung in there, and there's going to be a lot to go over for the admins tonight. I don't envy them at all, but they're going to come up with the right calls, and yeah, and I'm looking forward to next week, and hopefully it's not bumper cars, but with some of the tempers we have tonight, and it's going to be iffy.
Like I said, you just never can tell, Joe. Well, thanks for talking to us. Best of luck to you next week at Bristol, and congratulations on the P3 tonight, Joe.
All right, thank you, fellas.
No problem. I'm going to get you back up there.
All righty.
Where are we at here? Oh, there you are. Next up, the man of his words.
Brock Page.
Yeah.
Yes, our P2 finisher tonight. Stout car. Love the paint scheme. Brock Page bringing it home P2 tonight. How you doing tonight, bud?
I'm just glad I survived. Me and Joe should have been wrecked in 3 and 4. I don't know how we both kept it straight there. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, wild race all around, all together. There was some people that wanted to take every run they got. There was others that just tried to just lead as much as they could, and then others just didn't have the patience. But there was others like you, Brock, that was just trying to ride it out here and there, then tried to be racy, see what you could do, and you were there at the end. You got P2 tonight. Miraculous, like everybody was in something tonight, Brock.
Yeah, the race was going good until lap 8, and I already had to use my quick fix. From what I saw, was a bump draft gone wrong. So, and it's someone who hasn't been in here for long. So, just some things we got to work on. People not experienced enough with the car. I mean, it's nothing that's really on them, but they gotta get better with what they're doing in here, because like I was just telling these guys a while ago, like me and Jake are tight on points, and these guys that haven't raced, they're picking what races they want to come run, which is fine, but they need to come in here and race with a little bit of respect, because me and Jake have been here every week except for one. We got one provisional each, but I don't know. It was all right. I wish it was better, because I know this car at this track can produce some very good racing. I don't really think we had that tonight. I changed that. Me and Caleb had a good battle for like 8 laps, and then all the fun was gone from there. But yeah, I don't even know where we're at next week. I think it's Milwaukee Bristol. Or something like that, ain't it? Bristol. Oh, I have not raced Bristol in this car. Yeah, me and Joe should have been wrecked right here. I'm watching it on the stream, but I don't know how we both saved it. I do want to apologize to him. I should have just lifted and got him behind him, but I didn't know if the car was going to shoot off the wall and catch him, so he still got P3, so I mean...
that's fantastic. Just excellent car control from the both of you. And man, Joe just goes on some type of Ken Block, Travis Pastrana drift there, and he gets, like you said, gets out, still finishes P3, brings the car home clean. I mean, great finish. I mean, to what was transpiring down the back straightaway, to like from the view that we had at first, it looked like everybody was going to get involved, and oh man, Bristol. What's the thoughts on Bristol?
Saving tires, because I have a feeling this thing's going to become a yacht real quick at Bristol. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do a lot of testing this week to make it through Bristol. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a wow. That's going to be something. I can already see it and hear it. If it's anything like tonight was, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, there's just some things that got to get cleaned up from everybody. I mean, I made mistakes tonight too, so we all got to work on some things. We're getting there. I know where the season's about over, but I hope we can run these again. These things are fun if you can, get going in them. Like I think the season started off really well with Daytona and Rockingham. I think that was 2 good races back to back, but seems like since then the races ain't really been as clean as they could be.
Yeah, it happens from time to time, and every now and again, I do have to agree with you, Brock, and just hopefully Bristol can be another good race to either tune in or maybe also carry forward and improve on things, like you said. And tonight, I would say it was good racing. There was some great moments in the race, but do what?
I said a lot of excitement, that's for sure.
Yes, there was a lot of excitement. Yes, there was a lot of mistakes, but mistakes just tend to happen, from time to time that just like you said, if you had maybe a bit more of experience in the car or this, that, or the other, it could have probably been avoidable, but it still could have happened in some way or the other. Some of these things some of the wrecks that happened tonight, it just part of the great racing that you guys were doing, right? It just the slightest bump went awry, and a couple of the wrecks, but other than that, it was a good race. I'm not going to say it was a fantastic race. I got everything I wanted as a race fan type of thing, but
so did I.
it was.
It was great. It was wonderful. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean it was a good race, and that it was good for what we had, Brock. That's how I feel, and
A lot of beats on track, that's for sure. I seen it.
I feel like it could have been a lot worse, and it wasn't. So, I mean, we could still be sitting here right now pacing around, but we're not.
I kind of wish we were. I could have got the rest of my car fixed and had a better shot.
Oh my goodness!
I still had a minute left to repairs, so.
Wow, a minute left to repairs, and he got P2.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I told Tyler, I was like, man, I don't know how we did that, because we were both sitting back here just trying to make the most out of our cars and just waiting for that to happen, and it did. I don't even know what even happened up there. I saw like 3 blue cars start swerving, and then we was wrecking. So
that's that JD McDuffie cars. That's exactly what happened.
Well,
oh my
JD
God,
Stacy.
See, I didn't even know they wrecked that hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All 3 of them.
Dude, you got to go back and watch it. It is. I don't want to say it's beautiful because of how just it could. Like if you've seen like the Davey Allison wrecks and the Ricky Rudd wreck for the Busch crash at Daytona back in the day, like it's basically that stuff, and it's like, oh, that looks so great on a sim, but like, anyway, yes, Brock. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, anything you'd like to add? Before we let you go, and then we get to Bristol.
Shout out to you guys as always. I didn't know y'all were broadcasting tonight, so that's always good to hear. I didn't know if it was going to be happening or not, so it's good to see y'all. I hope it was fun to watch from up there. I'm going to have to go back and watch it as always.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not, but...
No. I mean, it's probably not from Brian, but it's maybe 10% sarcasm from me. Just a wee bit. I mean, I'm sorry. I cannot tell a lie to save my life.
There's a lot of things that can be cleaned up for sure. I've seen it. I'm saying it to myself. That's why I've been muted half of the race. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's tough to be the league owner and watch something that you're paying money towards and putting all this time into run. I mean, that could have been worse. Don't get me wrong, but it was running like that, and it's not fun to sit there and watch.
Brock are the 2 honest people. Like,
oh, I'm not gonna lie. I've been in most of the races that have been 10 times better than that, and it's nothing towards Brian. I mean, you're doing all you can, right? But
exactly.
You can't control everybody on the track. I mean, I know we had new people in here tonight because I've never seen them. 1, 2, 3.
And they probably won't be here next week. It's only when you get to Daytona and Dega.
But
see, and that's another thing I was complaining about during the race was that you got guys that have never been here and haven't been here since Daytona, and now it's Talladega, and we want to show up. And they, from what I saw, one of them was causing crashes. I'm not going to name names, but actually 2 of them were causing crashes. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and trash their name. I mean, everybody saw it. So,
yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for saying it like that, because, anywho, you were spot on. Man, there's so many words I would rather like to...
Other than that, other shout-outs are to my beautiful girlfriend, as always. And they're taking care of the little shithead, is like I like to call him. I'm tired. I need to go take a shower after that one because it got hot in this room quick. But other shout-outs go to Keep Digging. Use code BPage6225 for 25% off your order. Want to shout out my paint business / photo business. I do a little bit with my graphics. Want to shout out my dad's welding company, 32 Welding and Repair. He's a local guy, so if you're not around Southern Illinois, yeah. But that's about it. Shout out to the good Lord, as always, giving us these days to race. Can't never forget to thank Him. I look forward to next week. Like I said, I'm going to have to do a lot of practice to get ready for Bristol. So, probably going to have to get on that soon. Probably tonight, if I'm being honest, because it's getting down to the wire with me and Jake, and I know I gained points on him tonight, because normally me and Jake are finishing 1, 2, or 3, 4, whatever. We're like right there with each other, but tonight we had like 5 cars between us. So, have to see how much I gained on Jake.
1665 to his 1611.
Yeah, so that's good to hear, but one bad race and he can catch right back up to me. So I just got to keep finishing ahead of Jake and just accumulating as many points as I can.
Yes, sir.
Well, best of luck to you going forward, Brock. Congratulations on the P2 run here tonight. No, it's not a win or a sweep of the 87 Speedway races that we did this year, but this season, yeah.
I felt like I had a great shot at it, but can't control everything else.
Right. But so best of luck to you in the championship hunt against Joe and Brandon, and especially your teammate there in second. So however you'd like to word it with Jacob.
Teammate.
Yeah. So, hopefully have a good run at Bristol next week. See you then at Bristol, if not before then.
Yeah, I'm ready for this Cup season to start up, I'll tell you that.
I am too. I can't wait.
I'm excited for the open setup side of this. Normally I don't get excited about it, but maybe it'll produce some better racing than the fixed setups will.
We'll see.
Alright, fellas. Well,
All right, buddy.
I'm going to get out of here.
There you go.
Alright, y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir, you too. Last but not least.
Yeah, open setup side of this.
Nope.
Last but not least, Mr. Tyler.
Oh, Alicia.
Yes, devoted fan and also racer. So, Tyler, you, I don't want to say you backed into this one this time, or like Josh did that one time at Atlanta, but anyway, so, you were up there. You can tell us about you pushing, we ain't got Brandon here, but you were here. You were pushing, going into turn 3 down the back straightaway. You guys were going down like a bullet, and then all of a sudden his car just turned left.
Right. He was shouting left, and I tried to, and
you didn't lift in time. Okay, that's what happened.
Trying to get around those blue cars, because they kept giving us scares when we were behind them.
I get you. So anyway, Tyler, pretty chaotic race all around, all together. Excuse me there if anybody heard the burp. But pretty kind of chaotic race all together. And you just, I don't want to say right place, right time, but like I said, you were just there. Yeah, it truly was.
Because I still had a minute. Oh, that last caution came on perfectly, because I still had 3 minutes of damage for fair. Come out with a minute and a half still. I was sitting 11th. I was just trying to give what I could, and wasn't expecting that. So we started 11th on that restart. And I had Brandon Moore just right behind me, and we were just going. He told me just to stay in it. I did.
So, what was your reaction? I gotta ask this, because you were right there. It all happened in front of you. What was your reaction going into turns 3 when you saw all that
I was like, holy fuck! I hope they all stay up.
Hey,
Because I had
That's
brain
kinda
up my
what I
ass,
figured.
so like, I had brain up my ass, so like I wasn't going.
Tyler.
Yes.
Yeah, right, go ahead. Finish.
Holy sh. What? What happened?
But yes, all that chaos happening in front of you, as we see it, the three blue cars, Jaden. Poor Campbell got swallowed up in that. Unfortunately, not by his doing. Um, yeah, that was
All right.
a good wild finish here.
It was chaotic. I was ninth going into that, and I still had one car left, which is Summer. Oh my! And I pinned him. I seen Brandon coming as well, and
Yeah,
pinned him behind Caleb, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked all right.
it sure did. Brandon said he don't care. Caleb, you're going.
Well, he gave Caleb a shove, and that was the end of it.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of that tonight with these cars. You can't really shove like a. You can do like a slight bump. You can't just
And
ram
then
them.
I want to apologize to Austin early in the race when I lifted his back bumper.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I looked away, and all of a sudden we're back, and looked back. I'm already up his ass.
Yes. Anyway,
Oh my goodness.
Bristol.
Bristol's next week. If you're here for Bristol, like
Oh, yeah.
what's the thoughts going into Bristol for you?
I love me some Bristol, so let's have some fun.
Final thoughts, shout outs before we let you go celebrate your victory there, Tyler?
Well, I call that the Dale Senior comeback. You know,
Pretty much.
that's all. Well, thank the good Lord up above, and hey,
Oh,
luck
my
on my
goodness.
side. Luck is there.
Yeah. All right, bud. Awesome job tonight. Winning the race, everything right there in front of you. Hey, came to a close shortly in a snap of a finger. You end up getting through it. You end up pinching Brandon down behind Caleb, which got him into the back of Caleb, and that was that. And then you just set sail from there. You had a strategy to do it. You were the controller there, so you're racing for everything towards the end, and it ended up working out in your favor. So, looking forward to see you at Bristol. I'm sure you're going to do pretty well there at Bristol with these cars. I think it could be a little tight. A lot of rolling, that's for sure. So, awesome job on the win. Go celebrate that one. Hang that on your shoulders. And looking forward to seeing you next week at Bristol.
Oh yeah.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Yep.
Anyway, well, that will do it here tonight. What a wild race. A lot of blowovers.
Yeah.
Some people not too happy finishing down there on the bottom, but that's besides the case there. But yeah, that's all I got really. I'm sure you can
Oh yeah,
say a
to
lot.
be expected. I could, but we don't have enough time. Yes, good race overall. Chaos, but it was all to be expected here at Talladega, for sure, Brian. But it's just a wild start and a wild finish. We had it all around. There was like I said earlier, there were some great points, but not good enough to make it a great race. It was a good race. Not a great race. But Bristol, next week, like we talked about, that's going to be a whole different challenge for the drivers. The high bank short track at Bristol, Tennessee, sits on the border there, Tennessee and Virginia there. So just have to wait and see next week what that will bring us and produce to us. So tonight, absolutely just wild, wacky, chaotic finish and race all around. Lots of different, like you said, moments in the race throughout. And Tyler Myers walks away with a finish with the race win, and just all around, good race. So next week at Bristol, can't wait. Nope, I've gone into the carousel and having a. So that'll be it. Signing off, Brian Huntley, myself, William Roberts. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out, tuning in to the BNR Racing Network, whether it be on Twitch, YouTube, wherever you get to find us, those platforms, and enjoying. Hopefully, you enjoy these races that we get to put on for everybody, and everybody get to enjoy running in them as well. So until then, until we get to see you next week again at Bristol, I'd like to wish everybody a